In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to integrate your Facebook lead forms for your Facebook ads directly with Jobber so that whenever a potential customer completes one of your lead forms on Facebook, that automatically creates both a client and a new request in Jobber with all of the details directly from that form that they've completed, so there's no manual copy and pasting. Let's go. All right, so this is a simple 3-step Zap here in Zapier. The first one is always your trigger, and I've already got this set up so that I can just walk you through this really quick. But the first step here is your trigger. It's your Facebook lead ads, and to set this up, you have your Facebook lead ads app. Your trigger event is new lead, and then you have to connect your account. To configure this, you select the page that the ads are running on and the particular form that's been completed. And then to test this, just click Find New Records. It'll bring in some of your leads. I'm not actually running this ad. I just set up this demo form here on my Facebook ads account so that you can see this here. Quick preview here, we've got a couple of questions. First, what services are you interested in? The user can select multiples. And then the next page says, when would you like this service completed? And then it asks for their contact information with the street address being optional. And that's it. So when we get those leads that come in here, we can see that those same questions are here. So what services are you interested in? And when would you like this service completed are the two, what I'll call custom fields, if you will, on that form. We then have the full name of the person that submitted the form, email, phone number, and you can see our street address information. So the question here becomes, how do we get this information directly into Jobber without any manual copy and paste? So using Adhesion Connect, the first action we want is this Find Clients action. And we're going to search based on Find Clients here. And we're going to use email that comes directly from the Facebook lead form. We probably need to add a step here actually, and we're going to use a path. All right, so now that we've got this path added here, we first want to make sure that this step here to find clients is set up, and we want the successful if no search results are found to be true. So then we can test this here. And obviously we're not going to have a test at meta.com, but Zap search was found status is false. So here what we want is well, yeah, we could do this. We could do Jobber ID exists. So this would be the path that we would follow here if the client is found in step 2 here. And yeah, so path A, client found. Path B will be client not found. And so here, client found. Now we can create this request. And we do that with the Adhesion Connect app. We create the request, the configuration here. We can see here we have this title, new request from Facebook, followed by the full name of who submitted that. So we have a custom title. The client, this is the Jobber ID of the client, and that comes directly from this Find Clients step here. If you wanted to have a step to create a property and so forth and so on, you could do that and map the property here. Here we can see where our custom details come in. So we have 2 request details sections, or request details fields, that would be in the request details. So anything that's in the Facebook lead form needs to get mapped in here. So you're not having to go back to Facebook, download the leads, or reference them anywhere else. So we can see here we have the requested service, which as I mentioned here was one of these 2 requested services. And then we have the requested within. These are completely customizable. You can type whatever you would like in here. And then we map using the plus sign here. So let me just show you this. What services are you interested in? And that maps it over just like that. So whatever is submitted in this form is going to map directly into a jobber request here. If you wanted to get really fancy and based on the services that you have here, you have particular line items that you would like to add to the request, you can add those line items down here. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to bring in the request details here. I believe that's what the majority of Jobber users do anyways. And then you would hit continue to test this step. For this other side of things where the client is not found, what we would want to do here is we would actually want to add a step to create the client. And so we would create the client, configure this. We would do first name, last name. You have the full name here of who submitted this. If you wanted to format this, you could have a formatter step to split the first name, last name into two so that you can do first name, last name, or just bring both of those over here and then split those in Jobber once they come across. Better to have more data than no data. If you did get the address information, you can bring that over here. So street address, city, I know we had, and don't worry about if it's not provided. Remember, those were optional, and so these would just map blank values here. So zip code, and I think we need email and phone number. All right, so this would then create the client, and you can just duplicate this. So copy this, paste below. So now we have our create request here. Now the one thing is we need to make sure that our ID is mapped. So instead of coming from step 2 here, because that's for this request, when we found the client, we need to map this client here to this create client here. So we would do this, create client, and let's just test this step. Okay, so now that that's been complete, we now have an ID, and we can map this value from create client. We have a jobber ID, there we go. And so now we have our jobber ID from the create client here, creating the request with the same custom information directly from your Facebook lead form. So that's as simple as it gets. You have a Facebook lead form that then creates a client in Jobber, or first searches to make sure that that client doesn't already exist so you don't create duplicate clients. Then based on the results of that search, it either creates a request for an existing client or it creates a client and then a request for the new client. This is super powerful to connect your advertising spend, your resources directly with an automation that eliminates any need to manually enter in this information and brings all of the data from that lead form directly into Jobber so that you don't have to go back to another system to reference that information to follow up with that new lead and hopefully close that business that much quicker. If you want to check out Adhesion Connect and the over 50 triggers and actions that we have available directly for Jobber users, there's a link in the description to start a 21-day free trial. No credit card required whatsoever. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.